Okay, hi, good morning, everyone. It's Coffee with the County. Get your coffee out and let's get going here. We've got an outstanding presentation today coming from Sergeant Catania Black of the Public Safety Department, Animal Control and Care and Control Division. And she's going to talk with us about hurricane preparedness for families with pets. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into it. Just want to say, hurricane season already started June 1st. We've only had Arthur so far as a tropical storm, but I do understand there's a few coming, uh, 3 or 4 on the radar that they're talking about. So let's get prepared for that. We are recording today. If you would like to have this recording, I'm going to be sending it out following the webinar, along with the sponsor sheet with the sponsor contact information and Sergeant Black's information as well. One thing I did want to mention is that this is not a CEU course. So managers, I think getting prepared is always a good thing. So I hope you stay on. And board members, if you're on, we appreciate you joining us as well. And just to mention, we're going to talk a little bit more about it at the end, but Sergeant Black is available to come out to do town hall meetings individually at your property for free as a community service to talk about all the services that are available from the Public Safety Department. If you have a question, put it into the Q&A box, okay? You can say good morning, hello, and so on in the chat box. But if you have a question, the questions are being recorded in case she doesn't get to answer them all. And Sergeant Black can get back to you via email to answer those. With that, I am going to go into introducing our sponsors very quickly, starting with the ones that are actually on. And our first one on today was Shawnee. So Shawnee Haas is on from Munyon. Shawnee, tell us about yourself, what you do, and how's it going over there at Munyon?
Thank you, Peggy. I'm Shawnee Haas. I'm the marketing manager with Munyon Painting. We've been painting in Florida HOA. We've been painting Florida HOA and condo communities for over 75 years, delivering high quality work that protects and refreshes properties across the entire state, whether it's Tampa Bay, down over in West Palm Beach, up in Orlando, Fort Myers, the whole state. Some of the painting services we offer include exterior painting, interior painting, deck and fence painting, as well as surface preparation and priming. If you manage communities in any region of Florida, we'd love to be a great resource for you.
Okay, awesome. Sounds great. They also do something specialized that I like to remind everybody. They do electrostatic painting.
Serena, I got it.
For railings. Gilbert, can you mute, please? Yeah. So that is a very expensive and costly thing to do if you don't do it the way that Munyon does it. It's still an expensive course, but it's probably a third of the cost of sanding down railings and repainting and that sort of a process. But if you did electrostatic painting, it's very, very convenient and affordable. So, all right. We have also on Andres, we have you under Clarkson and Varick. Okay, we have Best Roofing on today. You want to go on and introduce yourself and tell us what you do? Cameron, I'm sorry.
Good morning. My name's Cameron Andres. I do business development for Best Roofing. We're a commercial roofing contractor servicing the entire state of Florida. We do any and all kind of roofing repairs or re-roofs that you might need. We also do recoveries. We do preventative maintenance plans for both flat and sloped roofing. So we can handle anything from a small single family home all the way up to a big commercial project. We are getting into hurricane season, so we do offer complimentary comprehensive roof audits. So we'd be happy to get somebody out there to your property, take a look around before the storm comes through and get you some information on your roofing system. See if there's any repairs that might need to be made immediately, as well as what a cost of a re-roof might be when that time does come. So we'd be happy to set you up with that before these storms roll through here. Just let me know. Thank you.
Thanks, Cameron. Awesome. And again, he is with Best Roofing, and this is a great time to get your maintenance agreement in place and hurricane preparedness in place as well, your program set up and so on, and he can help you with that. Next, I want to introduce Tyler's on today from Clarkson and Varick. Tyler, welcome, and tell us about yourself and what's going on. You're in Palm Beach County, and this is a coffee with the Palm Beach County people. Tell us what you do.
Wonderful. My name is Tyler Wolf. I'm with Clarkson and Varick. We're an elevator consulting firm. I am a native of Palm Beach County. I grew up in the Jupiter area, and so I've spent my 20-year career within the elevator industry in South Florida and the Caribbean. We offer a wide range of elevator consulting services with existing buildings and condominiums. Probably one of the largest values we bring is when it's time to do a modernization, where we'll come in and give our opinion, evaluate the equipment, and make those judgment calls on whether or not a modernization is needed, or if the equipment can be rehabilitated or have some more years. So when we do that, we'll write specifications to make sure that you're getting the right equipment, non-proprietary equipment, project management, run the project, take that burden off of property managers and building owners. We also do maintenance evaluations, whereas if you are having elevator issues and want a second opinion, we come in and evaluate the maintenance practices being performed. And in some cases where a condominium has grown tired of their current provider and are trying to break a very difficult contract to get out of, they're typically 5 years. We often get involved with that as well, documenting non-performance and helping associations break away from unhappy marriages with other elevator contractors. So again, we're not a contractor. We're just an elevator consultant. We also do elevator inspections, new construction, architect things. But for condominiums, most of what we do is service audits, as well as modernization projects.
Excellent. Okay, excellent. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mention the other sponsors by name. They will be on the sponsor sheet that I will send out following the presentation. And these are the people who have been so kind to invite many of you that are on today. We have First Citizens Bank, Jamie Gelfand's the contact there. Faster.io, which is a streaming service. If you're about ready to take a look at renewing your cable or anything to do with that type of a product, contact Bob Aleka. We have the contact for City Quiet Windows and Doors is the president, Ben Friedman. PD Concrete, the president there is Daniel Pena, and he is available to speak with you about concrete restoration. We also have Siobhan Gonzalez from United Professional Engineering, and her owner is Carmelo Giglio. If you're looking for a great Palm Beach County area engineer, they would be great to reach out to. We also have the insurance broker, Daniel Baum. He is the founder and CEO for his company, COA Solutions. He's an insurance broker specializing for condominiums and HOAs. So if you're looking for any sort of an evaluation of what products you have, do you have everything in place, especially with hurricane season coming, reach out to Daniel. We also have the paving lady. Dawn Miller is the contact there, and her owner there is Mauro Camuzzi. Mauro's been around in the business for coming up on 40 years. Even though he looks like he's 12, he's very youthful looking, but he's very good at what he does. So reach out to Mauro or Dawn. Then we have Southwest Elevators. They're based out of South Florida, but they are all over the state now. They opened a new office in the Tampa area, and they are actually installers and work together with Clarkson and Varick, the consultants for elevators. And then lastly, I'm going to say my wind beneath my wings. I'm going to turn this over to Laura from Vinteum Software. And I can't say enough about how much I appreciate you guys, Fabricio and our newest interns on today. But Laura, tell us about what you're doing for the associations now in Florida.
Sure. Thank you very much, Peggy. Hi, everyone. My name is Laura. I am the sales executive here at Vinteum. So what we do at Vinteum is that we help condominiums, HOAs, property management companies, and overall communities within Florida, but also throughout the U.S. to make their community management a lot easier. How do we do that? We build residence portals and also their respective their respective and specialized websites so they can have a public, nice place out there on the internet, as well as a resident portal where all of you guys can communicate with the residents or with your property managers or with the other board members, where you can keep documents that are required, especially by the law here in Florida, and many other things like finance things. Hold your board meetings, have service requests, have information of vendors. Everything will be saved and completely private for only the community, for only people within the community. And these type of things are really important, especially for this type of hurricane season, where you need to make sure you have all documentation properly saved, organized, information from the vendors, from people that will most likely go to your communities to fix anything that has maybe had any damage during this hurricane season. So if you guys are in Florida, especially, you can communicate with us. You can send us a message to, take a look at what we do for you. And also, we've recently launched a light version here for Neighbors. So for our tool, so that way you can have a complete free website. Yes, I said free. And then also a resident portal with a few more limitations, but that will be a great way for all of you guys to see what we offer, how great our product is, and how great and easy will be to manage your community with our tools. We will send over the information through the chat, and if anything, you can also let us know, so I will make sure to get in touch with you. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. And they all also offer full support individually to the individual board members, residents, and managers for the sites once you get started with them. So thank you so much, and thank you for all you do. With that, I'm going to introduce today's presenter, and our speaker today is Sergeant Catania Black. She is with the Palm Beach County Animal Control and the Department of Public Safety. She has been interested in doing these presentations with me for a couple of months now, and also in person for town hall meetings, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But with this, I'm going to turn it over to you, Sergeant, and let you start your presentation and tell us about what's going on and what you offer.
Good morning. I hope everybody's enjoying your coffee and getting that in so that we can go through this.
Are you muted?
Nope. Do you not hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great morning and enjoying their coffee. Today, we have a great presentation for everybody. We're going to talk about how to prepare for hurricane season families with your pets. So as Peggy said, my name is Sergeant Catania Black. I have been with Animal Care and Control for 18 and a half years now. I actually started off at ACC as a kennel tech and have worked my way up, and was recently promoted. And now I am the Community Animal Services Coordinator. And I am very excited to bring you guys some great information, and we'll go ahead and get everything started. So today our overview is we're going to give you a family guide for keeping your pets safe. And we're going to talk about why pet preparedness matters. And we're also going to tell you, know what to do before, during, and after a hurricane. Those are all things that we all need to be aware of, not just for our pets, but just in general with hurricane season upon us. So just some knowledge, the ASPCA survey revealed that over 600,000 pets are affected by disasters annually in the United States alone. 54% of pet owners do not have a formal disaster preparedness plan. So this is another reason why we really want to get this information out to everybody so that you can and are aware of what needs to happen. 84% lack secured emergency pet-friendly housing. And furthermore, research shows that pet ownership is the single biggest factor leading to people refusing to evacuation orders. So, these are things that we want to make for sure that not only are our pets safe, but you're safe. People are not wanting to evacuate because they do not want to leave their pets behind. So why does pet preparedness matter? Hurricanes can cause flooding, power outages, evacuations, limited access to veterinary care. So again, this is why we're going to give you a checkoff list today so that you have all of these great things to keep in mind. Why does pet preparedness matter? So pets can become stressed, very frightened, lost during evacuations, injured by debris or floodwater. I know I have a dog at home and a thunderstorm comes through and she's shaking behind the couch. So, I have to make sure that I have my animal prepared when a thunderstorm comes through and that I can keep her safe from harming herself, from hitting under something that could cut her or hurt her. So during a storm, these are all things that we need to think about on a daily basis that may not occur. What are the things that are going to stress our animals out? What are they going to be frightened from? Is it going to be that wind that is going to be so strong, the things blowing around outside? When you evacuate, they can run away. So we want to make sure that we're keeping them safe when you do have to evacuate. So we're going to build a pet emergency kit. And we have to prepare ourselves. We also need to prepare our pets. You're going to want to make sure that you have 7 to 10 days of pet food, bottled water for your pets as well. They also need food and water bowls. A lot of times we don't think about those things that we might grab the food and the water, but what are we going to put it in? So making a bag that you can put all of this stuff in and it's easy to grab, have a go bag ready to go. They're also going to need their medications and prescriptions for pets. We want to make sure that you have a good, secure harness, a carrier for a cat, even for a small dog, a leash. We want to make sure that we bring some waste bags, litter supplies, a favorite toy or blanket that they can be comforted by. We want to make sure even for our kids that we bring their favorite toy. I know my dog is one of my children, so make sure that she has her favorite little snuggie blanket that she loves to curl up in. We also want to make sure that in our pet kit that we have a flashlight and batteries, because if for some reason, even in our own kit, that way it's with your animal's things that's ready to go. And a pet first aid kit. Now everybody's probably going, what do you put in a first aid kit for your pets? So items that you could include are pretty much like what you would put into a human first aid kit: gauze pads, bandage wraps, scissors, tweezers. You can actually carry hydrogen peroxide that can be used to induce vomiting, only as directed by your veterinarian, but it is still good to make sure that you have that with you. We want to make sure that you have antiseptic wipes. It's crucial to include in your emergency kit as well your vet contacts so that you have all that information. A digital thermometer is always great to have. And that way it stays with your pet, because we want to make for sure that the pet has their own thermometer as well as you have your own as well. A pet muzzle. So even though our dogs and our cats can be the friendliest, we want to make for sure that we have a muzzle, because that way we can make sure that they stay safe and those around us can stay safe as well. You could also include a styptic powder or a pencil. That's like if they get something where they break a nail and their nail starts to bleed, it can actually help with the bleeding to stop that. These are all great little things to throw into a bag and have all of this ready to go. We want to also make sure we have important documents for our pets. We want to make sure that we have their vaccine records, any medical history, microchip information. If they are microchipped, please make sure that you bring that information with you. Any recent photos that you have, emergency contact list, proof of ownership. Proof of ownership is all going to be all of these things: your medical bills, photographs with you together with your pet, because if for some reason you get separated from your pet and it does end up at our shelter, we want to make for sure that we can get that animal back to you. All of these copies should be kept in a waterproof container. You can also, make sure that you have a digital folder. So we scan everything, but let's just say something happens to our phone, to our laptop, and we're not able to access that. Good old paper copies in a Ziploc bag kept secure are great to have as well. But Also, with your digital copies, send it to the cloud, send it to your phone storage so that even if you're not able to access it right then and there, somebody else may be able to give you that access that you need so that you can have all that information. Identification and microchips, super, super important. A collar can come off, a tag can come off, but a microchip is implanted inside of that pet. So we want to make for sure that if they do have their collar with their ID tags, that they do have current phone numbers as well. With your county tags, you can always make sure that you reach out to us, make sure that all of your information is updated with animal care and control. We keep all of that information in our database. So if you ever move, you change phone numbers, please reach out to us so that we can change that information so that it goes back to the tag information that is on that collar. The same thing with the microchip. Make sure that we update that microchip information in our system as well. There is a national database for microchips as well. So if you have your own microchip company, you can contact them and they can keep that information secured as well. Make sure that you take clear photos of your pets. It's always for lost pets to be reunited faster. So we always take pictures of maybe their faces or a side view. Think about all sides of your pet when you're going to take these photographs. Do a top view because they may have a brown spot in the middle of their back, and that's going to be something that we can easily identify them. So getting pictures of all sides of your pets makes sure that we can get those pets back to you even faster. You want to make for sure that you have an evacuation plan before hurricane season. So right now we're in the midst of it, but it's the beginning. So this is when we're going to start planning right now, is you want to make for sure that you know your evacuation routes. You want to identify pet-friendly shelters and hotels. So here in Palm Beach County, we do have a pet-friendly shelter location. That location is right there at the bottom of your screen, and I'm also going to have it at the end in case anybody misses it or needs to get that. So in Palm Beach County, we have a pet-friendly shelter. We bring in anybody that does have to be evacuated. You can bring your pets to us. We are there 24/7 and we care for your pets. And then Park Vista High School is actually right in front of that location, and that's where all of the residents go. So you are not able to stay with your pets at that shelter in Palm Beach County, but the shelter is fully staffed with animal care and control staff members. And this is what we do. We take care of animals on a daily basis. So we are there to care for them. Also, I am the incident commander supervisor for the pet friendly shelter. So I will also be at that pet friendly shelter. I've been doing it for probably 15, 16 years now, working at the pet friendly shelter. And, you know, we have veterinarians that are on staff. We have vet techs that are there prior to and after. We have everything that could possibly, you know, happen. We can contact you if anything happens there. And again, you're right in front. So I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with our location, Park Vista High School, and then the West Boynton Rec Center is directly right behind there. You want to make sure that you arrange backup transportation because, you know, say the storm comes and a tree falls down and you're not able to get your vehicle out. Is there a neighbor that can come pick you up? Is there somebody else that can help get you to safety? Practice loading your pets into carriers. I can't tell you how many people, even on a daily basis, that call us and say, I don't know how to get my cat into the carrier. So something that's ideal is you can take your carrier for your dog or your cat, take the front of the cage off. If you take the front of the cage off and you start putting treats in there, it lets them know that it's a safe and secure spot. Put one of their favorite blankets in there, make it nice and comfy and cozy, and it's a reward system. Every time they go in, great job, they did so awesome. So that when the stress level does happen to start, when they see the bags getting packed, they see things are changing. Our animals feel the pressure from a storm coming in way before we do. So they know that something is not right. So making sure that they are ready to go into those carriers. Have a key word, you know, go to your house, go to your home. Those are all things that are going to help you along the way. And remember, many shelters do not allow pets unless they are service animals. So for Palm Beach County, the only shelter that we do have is the pet-friendly shelter. All of the residential shelters do not allow pets in there unless they are for service animals.
can I interrupt for just a quick
Sure,
second?
absolutely.
Yes, I have a question coming through here uh, regarding a different county, Escambia County and Perdido Beach area. I'll look into that to see where those shelters are. But if you would send me a personal email request on that, I would appreciate that and send it to the contact information on the sponsor sheet. And, if you have any others, that are on that need other counties, let me know and I'll see what I can find out for you. Thanks.
Yeah. I would also suggest, Peggy, if you find your local county website, they probably have everything posted. We do on our website. We have a list of boarding facilities. We have a list of pet-friendly pet-friendly hotels and motels in our area that we keep updated. We just, right before hurricane season, made sure that that was all updated. So it's possible for their county that they may have something, hopefully, that's on their website as well.
Yes, great idea. Great idea.
So, July 1st of 2020, Governor DeSantis signed into law the state statute HB 705. So that maintains that public emergency shelters must designate a pet-friendly shelter to keep pets and families safe during evacuations. This mandate was brought to the state in alignment with the Federal Pets Evacuation and Transportation Standards Act of 2026, or 2006, sorry, which requires states to include households with their pets in disaster preparedness plans to qualify for FEMA funding. So everybody remembers Hurricane Katrina and, all the pets that were left behind. So now, we have to have those pet-friendly shelters open, and it's so we can make sure that we save lives. So what are we going to do? We're going to prepare our home as well. So now we've got our bag packed. We've got the carrier ready to go. You're going to prepare the home as well. You need to secure your outdoor items. We want to make sure that we bring our pets indoor early because things can start brewing outside even prior to the actual storm coming. We want to create a safe indoor room for our pets. Make sure that you keep toxic chemicals out of reach. We all get up, you're starting to prepare something, you're moving something, and there's a bag of something, a chemical that got left out. Animals are very curious. They can smell something and go, oh, this smells good. I think I'll try this. And now we have a sick pet along with a storm that's on top of us. And always we want to make sure that we charge our phones. We have backup batteries. For cats, keep those carriers accessible. Keep them where they're around. Even if they're sitting out even a week prior to, that lets them know, oh, okay, this is something that, I can smell it. I see it. It isn't oh no, it came out of the closet. I'm going to have to go into the box again. It's making sure that they're aware and that the animals are prepared prior to the storm as well. For dogs, we want to make sure that we get them exercise before the storm comes. I know mine, if the wind is blowing too much, she doesn't even want to go outside at all. So making sure that they get that extra exercise, get that energy moved out, do their potty breaks so that prior to the storm coming. Now we have to have special considerations. Not everybody has dogs and cats. We have birds, we have reptiles, fish. These are all things that we all have to think about. So for birds, we want to make sure that we cover the cages during transportation. That also helps keep them calm and secure. If even during the storm, if you're able to put them into that indoor room with you, putting that blanket or that cover over top of their bird cage can help calm them down as well. Reptiles, we need to make sure that you have a way to maintain the heat safely for them prior to, during, and after. So think about those things. If you lose power, how are you going to keep your reptiles warm? Fish, prepare portable containers. There's actually aerators that are battery powered that you can get. For our senior pets, we want to make sure that we pack extra medication, pets with anxiety. Discuss calming strategies with your vet. So like I said, for my little dog, I have to keep something, calming tabs for her at all times so that when she gets stressed out, she can make sure that she has something with her. But thinking about those things, maybe that thunderstorm does come through and you realize, oh, wow, Fluffy's pretty stressed. So going to the vet, preparing for when a bigger storm does come, so that way you make sure that they are secure. Now, something we don't always think about is livestock as well. Again, we've got our dogs and we've got everything that's inside, but there are some residents in Palm Beach County that have livestock. So we need to make for sure that those are also secured and safe. We need to make sure that you evacuate your animals if possible. Depending on the property, depending on the size, depending on what things that you have, you may have to go ahead and evacuate your animals to another location. You want to turn your horses and cattle into a large, well-fenced pasture. Smaller livestock can be brought inside of sturdy structures like a garage. You want to make sure that you have stocked up food for 7 to 14 days for your livestock. If there's a storm and it is bad, you might not be able to, Red Barn might not be opened. We might have to make sure that you have the supplies to get you through until things start moving. You want to make sure that you keep your halters on your horses before, during, and after the storm until it's passed. We also have a list of horse boarding facilities on our website as well. If you're turning your animals loose, we want to make sure that that area is well fenced away from trees, that there's no shallow rooted brush, barbed wire. Also identifying low-lying or flood-prone areas, which we have a lot of that in Palm Beach County. You may have one side of your property that floods every time it rains. So making sure that the livestock is on the other side so that they're not going to be in that low-lying area. Make sure that you can locate a higher ground where animals can be evacuated. You can actually, if you do have smaller animals, we have some that have goats and chickens. If you bring those in, you can actually make smaller pens with wooden pallets and use that to construct temporary pens to hold them during the storm. One of the most important things is that we also want to make sure that all of our livestock has identifying marks. You can braid information into like a horse's mane, having it on their halter, having it, we even have horses that are microchipped as well. So making sure, again, that all of that information is up to date on there. Now, during the hurricane, we want to make sure that we keep our pets indoors at all times. I know for myself, when the eye passes over us, that's our calm. That's okay, take them out for a quick break, make sure that everything is secured. That's when you know that everything is at that point, and then get back inside to make for sure that everybody is safe. Stay in the safest room in your home. Make sure it's that center room, no windows, no outside doors, that it is secure. We want to make sure that you keep your dogs leashed and cats in carriers if needed. So think about the worst situation if a storm comes and you're in that secure room, but a noise happens or a window breaks or something comes through or the tree falls on the roof. If you're able to grab that leash, now you have your animal secure and can pull them in for safety. They're going to run underneath the couch, underneath the bed, behind something. So this way you can keep them closer to you as well. You want to make sure you avoid windows and flood water. Maintain a calm behavior to reduce the pet's anxiety. They're always there to calm us down, but if we get excited, they're going to know that something else is going on as well. They can read us. They do. I pack for a trip and my dog is looking up at me and going, oh, where are we going now? We're going on a trip. I see the suitcases coming out and she knows, and she starts running all over the place. So they know the signs. They know all of those things. So now after the storm is past. We've made it through. Everybody is good and safe and sound. But outside, we also need to make for sure that we're watching for hazards, for debris and broken glass. Our dogs are out there and they're walking on their paws, and we have to make sure that they're safe. Things can be hidden underneath debris that we think it's just leaves and there's glass. Down power lines can be hidden as well. Also contaminated water. Contaminated water, every time a dog goes out, they want to lick that puddle of water. You don't know what could be in that water. So we want to make for sure that we're not allowing that. Wildlife, it can be displaced by the flooding. You turn a corner and there's our lovely Florida gator coming out because he got moved because his now area is now flooded and he's trying to see what's going on. You also want to monitor your pets for stress, check for any injuries that may have occurred. Keep an eye on them for changes in eating and behavior after the storm because it is stressful. Making for sure that within that time period, and schedule veterinary care if it's needed. If you do see that they haven't eaten in a couple of days, go ahead and give your veterinarian a call and get that scheduled. One of the biggest things is a family communication plan. So if you have other household members, this is what you want to sit down and you want to discuss this with them. You want to say, okay, this is our plan. You have the dog. This one has the cat. And make sure that everybody is on the same plan of action. Have those emergency contacts. Everybody should know where they're located and how to get them. Because a storm could happen and maybe, mom isn't home or dad isn't home. Making sure that everybody is on the same page so that we all know how to get back together. Have meeting locations if something does happen. That you're going to grab the dog, I've got the cat at the vet, we're going to meet at this location. Having your veterinary clinic information as well, not just the contact, the phone number and the name, but maybe even the location of where they are located. Have an out-of-town contact. Yes. You got your hand up, Peggy?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to make a recommendation that most communities they're getting on board with this to have a residential list of everyone that's in the building or in the association, and their contact information. But you might make a special note of which ones also have pets. Because, someone may not be in town when something happens and they say, oh, I got to go remember my neighbor and so on and so on. But an extra list of neighbors that have these pets, or maybe the front office could have a list of the pets, just to have an awareness, type thing. And I think that would be helpful.
That's very good. You want to make for sure that you can split that up. Like I said, having pet care responsibilities for each family member. This one maybe gets the carriers all lined up. This one gets the go bag. That way everybody has an important role when it comes to being activated for a storm. And practice. We practice for fire drills, practice for a hurricane evacuation, go through the steps so that way everybody is on board with what needs to happen. And Peggy, like you said, knowing your neighbors and your pets, because even with cats, people can go out of town for the weekend and now we have self-feeders, you have self-cleaning litter boxes. So those cats may be alone, and knowing that you have that information, okay, how do we get the cat? What can we do to make sure it stays safe? So here's a quick readiness checklist. So we want to make for sure that we have our pet emergency kit packed and ready to go. Make sure that you have all of your vaccinations updated, have your microchip information current, identify the pet-friendly shelter and do you need to use it and where it's located, how to get there. Have your family communication plan completed. So everybody's practiced, everybody knows in your household what their job responsibilities are, and make sure you have those carriers and leashes ready to go. So in conclusion, we just want to make for sure that you're prepared before the storm. Preparation reduces stress and danger. By knowing what needs to happen when we get that call that a storm is coming, we're all ready to go. I can tell you how many storms we've had that we've been activated, and by the powers that be, it stays out in the water and it goes right past us. And we're also very thankful, but we were prepared. We were ready, and we knew that everybody would be safe if the storm turned around and went to the left just a little bit. We also want to make for sure that pets depend on their families for safety. So they can't say, hey, grab my leash. Can you pack my bag? They depend on us to make for sure that they're safe. We bring them in as our family members. Early planning helps families evacuate quickly and safely so that you are ready to go And we want to make for sure that we stay informed, stay prepared, and keep our pets safe. So I just want to thank everybody. And again, this is my contact information. That is our direct website. So that'll take you to all those links that we talked about with all the information. And that again is the address for the pet friendly shelter.
Awesome. Awesome information. Yes, we all need to know if we have a pet, that's for sure, what to do and how to be prepared and so on. And a lot of tips here, everyone. Are your slides available to be sent out if anyone requests them in particular? Okay.
Yeah, just let me
All
know.
right.
Absolutely.
All right, absolutely. I did want to mention, again, I touched on it, but she is going around to the Palm Beach County communities to do town hall meetings available as a community service. You want to tell us a little bit about that, what you're trying to do, what you want to do?
Yes. So we'd really like to, at Animal Care and Control, start reaching out to our homeowners associations. There's so many communities that are not aware of what we do at Animal Care and Control and the services that we provide. You know, you might not be aware that we have the ability to take in livestock. So, you know, all of those things and all of the different departments that we do have with field services, our licensing and enforcement, special investigations. So what we'd like to do is to do those in-person meetings with the communities. I can come out and do about a 30-minute presentation about an overall view of everything that we have at Animal Care and Control, and then answer those questions. If while in the community, we do see the community turns around and says they have an issue with dogs running loose. Okay, let me help you with that specific issue. If you have a barking issue, I can help you with those specific issues. And then we do that presentation, and now you have a direct contact so that you can reach out to me with those issues, and I can guide the communities for where they need to go for those specific problems. Or maybe not, you know, hopefully nobody has any problems, and it's just awareness. It's letting everybody know all of the great things that we do have at Animal Care and Control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I have a couple sponsors that are willing to come out and provide donuts and bagels or coffee, and let's make it fun. I like to put some joy into everything we do, and maybe I can talk them into even giving a little door prize. Who knows?
Yeah, there we go.
But thank you so much. I want to close with mentioning a few things that are coming up. Tomorrow, actually, we have United Professional Engineering giving a 2-hour 2 CEU credit presentation on concrete restoration. Carmelo Giglio is the owner of United Professional Engineering, and he is a structural engineer with an SI designation, which is a special inspector designation that takes about 20 years to get. So he is really an expert, and I think you might pick up some new tips he's added to his presentation. June 30th, Vinteum Software, our Wind Beneath My Wings here for the presentation today, is going to have their own individual presentation June 30th. That's going to be from 12 to 1:30. They're going to touch on the websites and some hurricane preparedness again, and just practices for communities to have on hand in a website or in the cloud. So be sure if you need help with that. And again, she mentioned it, but they do have a free website available and accessible that you might want to try out. Jumping up to July 10th, our CAI in the Gold Coast area over here in Palm Beach area, Martin County, is going to have a day of education. That is let's see, what day of the week is that? I believe that's a Friday. Yes, July 10th. And this is open to board members. I like to encourage our board members to go to the CAI event. That is the Community Association Institute, which is the education arm for property managers. And it's a national association which is very active in all over Florida, but all over the country as well. July 14th, I have one more announcement to make, and that is WRG, which is the Water Restoration Group, is giving a presentation, and they're going to talk about numerous things to do with water as far as restoration and also repairs and remodeling. So don't miss that class. It was also not just hurricane related, but for any water emergency that you might have. course, we got July 4th in the middle, celebrating our 250 years of American freedom. And I hope you guys all prepare as well for that, for a safe holiday season. And got good information here today. So I will send out the recording. Sergeant Black, thank you so much again. And we're going to have another presentation coming in August, and we'll be going to every other month throughout the rest of the year for Palm Beach County Coffee with the County. Thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.